This is the Iowa Weather Report for Tuesday, July 21st, 2015. Now our first look at the 0Z GFS Model Run at 1 p.m. this afternoon. We have a bit of a broad trough across the Great Lakes into the north and east. Bit of a flat ridge across the south where it'll continue to stay fairly warm. And around here, with that trough and a slight northwesterly flow, we'll have cooler and drier conditions today. And lower humidity as well. Highs in the upper 70s to lower and middle 80s. Dew points will be a lot lower as well, around 60 to about 65 or so. So it will feel a little humid, but not overly so. Same can be said for Wednesday as well. It'll still remain mainly sunny, maybe a degree or two warmer, upper 70s to mid 80s across the state, with the humidity levels being tolerable. Maybe seeing a late afternoon shower or storm in far western Iowa, could be into the evening and overnight across the southwest and far southern counties. Better chances of seeing any rain will be across Missouri with that big bullseye, pretty much from Kansas City to St. Louis. Highs on Thursday will likely be in the 80s or so, and maybe even a chance of rain here on Friday, about a 20% crack, but most places should remain dry for most of the day, but it will become humid and warmer as highs well into the 80s, maybe nearing 90. Dew points will be approaching 70 once again. Saturday, chances of precipitation will be fairly remote, mainly in the morning hours, and then moving out to our east. It'll still remain fairly warm, 80s and 90s, and somewhat humid around as well. But the chances of precipitation really don't go away here on Sunday. You can still see some showers and thunderstorms around, most likely in the afternoon into the evening and overnight, but we can't rule that out any other time. Same could be said here on Monday as we begin a new work week. Showers and storms around with a boundary kind of across the area. Depending on where that boundary is where the best chance of showers and storms are, but we don't know that quite yet where that's going to be. Going into next Tuesday, though, you can pretty much see the storm track across the U.S.-Canadian border. Fairly big ridge over most of the southern two-thirds of the country, more or less. We're close enough that we're going to be warm, but we're close enough to the jet stream and the storm track that we're still going to have some showers and storms around. Some of these storms could produce quite a bit of rain if you get some, but it's going to be very hit and miss, and most places may stay dry for several days in a row, in fact. Even going into the extended period as we move into the month of August. Storm track still pretty much across the northern tier of the country, and that's pretty much where the active weather is going to be as well. So you can see showers and thunderstorms possible, maybe a little more numerous according to this run of the GFS. But timing this out a week to 10 days out is still fairly slight at best. We're just going to have to continue to watch it. The end of the forecast on August the 5th. Storm track still pretty much across the U.S.-Canadian border. Ridge pretty much across the southern tier of the country. But we're still close enough to the jet stream that we still could see a couple of showers and storms around with a frontal system moving through. Fairly weak one at that. Some afternoon air mass showers and storms in the southeast, and some monsoonal flow continuing over the southwest and the Four Corners region, with readings pretty much staying close to seasonal levels with a few cooler days intermixed. Satellite image from last evening. Complexes of showers and storms from eastern New Mexico through Texas and Oklahoma Panhandle into the Ohio River Valley. Fairly quiet elsewhere across the country outside of a couple high and mid-level clouds in the east and far west. The Watch Warning map from last evening. Some heat advisories across the south and some heat advisories and excessive heat warnings in the eastern Carolinas. Some flash flood issues in Kentucky and across California, Nevada, northern New Mexico, and red flag warnings in Oregon and Washington State. QBF chart precipitation over the next 5 days through Saturday evening at 7 o'clock, showing rainfall amounts around here between about a quarter and maybe up to 1 inch, but that 1 inch total will be fairly isolated. Many areas may get around a half an inch of rain.